So I'm starting my Zoom thing. Oops. What colors? Huh? Oh, what? And cool. She registering again. How to shut it up?
挺难吃。
What?
你有在说吗？
怎么？
孩子吃完了吗？
全部吃了。 吃了的。 Just one person. Where's my Zoom thing? Okay. Hmm? Oh my gosh. Only one person. Hi, Becky. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Yes, it's good evening there.
How are you?
I'm good.
Great to see you. Thank
You
you
too.
for being early. We have
Thanks.
70 people who registered.
Okay.
As people can come. Hello, Amos. Good evening. And it's good morning for Becky. Hi,
Cool.
Amos. Are you able to hear me? Okay, we just, yeah, some time. Usually people are rushing back from work. What time is it for you, Becky?
It's 7.
Okay.
It's 7 a.m. So
Wow, that's early.
typically, though, if it's like we're on school break, so typically if it were school time, I would already be in the classroom and my students would be coming. Our school goes from 7 to 3.
Wow, that's early. And we thought that we were
Yeah.
early.
No, it's a lot. But we go from September to June with a few breaks in between, and
Mhm.
then we're off from June until the 1st of September.
Right. Okay. Wow. We're just waiting for the rest to show up. Um, yeah. Have you taken your breakfast? Thank you.
I'm not a big breakfast eater, so I usually just do a protein shake.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I
I've done
try
that.
to do like intermittent fasting nowadays, so I don't really take breakfast. Hey, Amos, are you able to hear us? Maybe you can give us a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up or put in a chat. Oh, just give me a minute. I forgot my water. Hi, good evening. Welcome. Welcome, Linda. If you can, I'd like to invite you to turn on your camera to join us as you come into this masterclass.
Sure. Can you give me a minute?
Sure.
Then, okay.
Thanks, Linda.
Thanks. Okay.
Let me go grab a cup of water. I just forgot my water. See you in bed.
Hi, good evening.
Hi, good evening. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Where are you calling from, Linda?
Right now I'm in JB actually.
You're in JB. Are you a Singaporean or you're Malaysian?
I'm a Malaysian actually.
I see, I see. And how did you get to know about this masterclass?
My cousin Susan.
Ah,
Got Susan.
your cousin?
Yeah, my cousin.
I see. Thank you. Yeah, we have 70 people who registered for this masterclass, but people are taking a little bit more time to come in. So let's just have a quick chat in the meantime. Yeah.
Sure.
So, Linda, how many children do you have, if I may ask?
I have one son. He's 10 years old this
Okay.
year.
Okay, 10 years old.
Yep.
And how is it like mothering, your son?
I don't know if it's true. I think boys are tougher than girls because I grew up with all girls at home.
I see.
So
Well,
boys are
yeah,
hyper. They want to play all the time and like they're a bit more active lah, I would say.
I see. Well, I would like to say that it doesn't matter boys or girls. Girls can
Mm,
be equally active as well. And I have three daughters myself and one
mm.
son. So my greatest challenge is with my daughter.
I
Yeah,
see. You always envy what you don't have, right?
yeah, correct. But, so what are your main concerns?
Because I grew up in a household of girls, so
Yeah,
raising a boy is sometimes challenging for me in terms of trying to get into their world of, boys, they like to play game and whatnot. So I think they are this age where they're going to go to preteen soon. So sometimes my son is still start a bit rebellious,
I
bok choy,
see.
bok choy.
Ah,
And of course, he's more afraid of the dad than the mom.
oh, is
So
it?
yeah, the dad
Oh,
is the strict one, so the mommy is the softer
the
one.
sayang
So
sayang one.
the manja one, go to
I
for
see, I see.
manja, go to when sick, all this is the mother, you
Yes,
know.
yes. Yeah,
So um, sometimes my son listens to me, sometimes he doesn't really listen to me
yeah.
until sometimes he sees that I'm a bit upset. Then only, well, he come to me and like, then he apologized. Then only like he will listen to what I say. So
Oh,
I try to get to a point whereby I don't have to reach the stage every time I want him to listen to me.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome. We are starting to have more people joining us. Welcome, everyone. I see Celeste, Sandra, CS, Sharon, and Margaret. Welcome, all of you. If you can, I would like to invite you to turn on your camera. Oh, hi, Sharon. You're calling me from the office.
Hi, Delphine. No, I just got home.
I
Hi.
hope you managed to get dinner. We
Yes, I
actually
did.
have 70 people from different countries that have joined, that sign up. But sometimes if it's virtual, not everybody do show up even when they register. So hi Celeste, hi Sandra. If I can encourage you to turn on your camera, you will make our experience of journey together much more enjoyable. Hi Celeste.
Mm.
Welcome everyone. Hi Sandra, lovely to see a face to a name because sometimes we just see a name and sometimes they get initial and I don't know is it a father or a mother. All right, thank you everyone for being punctual. As I mentioned earlier on, we have about 70 people who registered from different countries. We'll just give them a couple more minutes to join us and we can just do a quick introduction. Thank you, Karen, for turning on your camera. Lovely to see you. And if you can put into your chat, in the meantime, where you calling from, which country or which part of Singapore or Malaysia you're calling in from. We have a couple of you who are join us the second time, so a very warm welcome to all of you. I am a father, camera is down. Okay, thanks for letting me know, CS. Maybe you can put into the chat how many kids you have and the age of your kids. Because, okay, we have more people joining us. Jofi, Clara.
Oh, shoot.
All right, if you can put, I'm calling in with my husband Nicholas from Singapore. Yeah. And Celeste got, I think five children. 5 children. All right. And how about Margaret, Karen? A class of 25 first graders. Thank you, Becky, calling from Minnesota. Yeah. Welcome, welcome. Can you all hear me well? I do have to apologize a little because I have a little bit of a sore throat. I think from the excitement of our yacht. Yesterday we had a we have a gathering with our friends, and it was a yacht experience, so it was really nice. And you know, in the water, in the seas, it's really hard to hear, so we tend to shout. That's how I lose my voice. Margaret from Singapore, I have 2 girls, 13 and 9. And I would like to thank all of you, those of you who have completed the pre-course questionnaire. And I believe you have also downloaded the EQ assessment and e-guide. I hope you find that helpful. Okay, we have more people joining us. So if I can have your permission, we just wait for maybe just 2 more minutes before we start. Yeah. Thank you very much for being punctual. Sandra, thank you for turning on your camera. Sandra, I think you attended a seminar I've conducted previously, is it?
Yeah, I think if I'm not wrong, I attended. I can't remember when I attended your seminar before.
Yeah, I think it's Resilient Teens, Resilient Families.
That was quite some time ago.
Yes, correct. That was also like a turning point in my life. Okay, thank you, Jofi. Ping Ping, thank you very much for joining us. Tap on. For those who just joined in, welcome, a very warm welcome to all of you. We have people calling from Singapore, Malaysia, and US. Some friends are calling in from Philippines as well. Okay, you can hear my little one in the background. So if you can put in the chat, it'll be helpful to let me know the number of children and the age of your kids, because later on, if I give some examples, I try to give examples that is close to the age group that you have shared here. All right. All right. If possible, I would like to encourage all of you to turn on your camera. Hi, Tab. Thank you for turning on your camera. All right. Okay. So I guess it's good for us to start. Let me press the record. Sometimes must have pressed it by mistake. Okay. All right. So rule number 1 is participate. Now rule number 2 is all in. Now I respect all of you, parents, people who have very busy schedules, and your time is precious. And since you are here already, might as well go all in and fully participate, right? And rule number 3 is to take action. Whatever I share is just going to be good.
That's an auntie lah.
Okay, whatever I share is just going to be good knowledge unless you take action. There are simple things that you can do. Just take baby steps. It could be just 1 degree of difference, but you end up somewhere very, very different. So can we all agree that we will learn and we'll participate, and we are here together in this community? It's all about learning how to communicate, how to connect, how to nurture thriving relationships with our loved ones. Yeah, so let us thrive together, not just as a family but also as a community. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you agree to this. All right, thank you very much. Really appreciate your responsiveness. It's really happy to see that. Hi, Jofi. Lovely to see you. All right. For those who have just joined in, if you can just type in where you're calling from, and if you can put in the age of your children, that will also be helpful. Now, before I start today's presentation proper, just like to give you a little bit background information as to who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing and why am I so passionate about this thing that I'm doing. Honestly speaking, it's actually not easy. I struggled for a long time to come out and share this and do this series of master classes. So I'm born in Singapore, made and produced in Singapore. So and I'm a mother of four, and you see my little one here. Yeah, so as mentioned, I'm a mother of four. I have 3 girls and 1 son. So my eldest is 22, and then followed by a 20 and a 17, and then a 4. Yes, God has a sense of humor. The age gap between my youngest and the oldest is 18 years old, but the third and my youngest is 13 years old. So it was quite a rude shock. I thought I was hitting menopause when I got a rude shock that, not rude shock, actually she's a great blessing. Yeah, when I found I was pregnant with her. So when I was raising my family of 3, my Do-Re-Mi, I was also running my own business. I was for 20 plus years, I was running events, organizing seminars, conferences, and workshops in Singapore, in Asia, and life was very hectic. I worked from home, but it was also very challenging because when you work from home, people think that your time is very flexi. So I have to do a lot of errands. I don't have a helper. So the chores, I have to do the chores. I still have to manage the household and still try to run a business. Now, I had a very difficult time raising my eldest. My eldest, she's very, very bright, very curious, and somewhat a very spirited, someone with a lot of spirit, a lot of spunk. No, it's your judge. Shh. Yeah. And so from young,
Eight about you,
okay, you gotta keep quiet, okay?
Is it eight about you?
No, Andrea judge. Shh. So from young, I know she's very bright. She talked fast. She actually started talking when she was just 8 months old. I was counting the number of words that she knows at just 8 months, 80 plus words. I thought, wow, she's going to be a bright child. And of course, she being my first child, I thought, I have so much to teach her. Then I realized that all my children are here to teach me as well, not just me to teach them. As I learn from them, I become a better person. And as I was saying, it was really difficult to raise my eldest. And at age 10, I see all these challenging behaviors, the answering back, the screaming and shouting. And age 10, she started to sprout vulgarity, which shocked me because our families, we don't speak foul language. Yeah, but and the thing is, she still get good grades even though she never do her homework. And I remember once her teacher said, when she was P5 and the teacher called me, the teacher said, Mrs. Stowe, Mrs. Stowe, no, just a minute, please. Yeah, so at age, she was P5, 10 years old. And the teacher said, Mrs. Stowe, I'm not going to let your daughter do homework already. I said, why not? And she said, well, she told me the reason for her to do homework is to pass exam. But she told me, Mrs. Xiao, I can pass my exam without doing homework, so I'm not going to do homework. And I thought, oh my goodness, you cannot let her escape. Just it doesn't mean that she can speak her way through. You let her get away. You do what you need with her. You discipline her. You punish her. I'm not here to do her homework. I shouldn't be doing that for her. So do what you can. And actually, the turning point of my life was when she was 14. But during this period, what I did was I volunteered in school. I volunteered in a secondary schools. I got myself certified as a rainbow facilitator, where I journey with girls that come from single parents family, because I couldn't understand what is she thinking about. Is life so difficult? She's well provided for. There's nothing to be complained. We bring her for holidays, and what is it that she's not happy with? What else can we satisfy her? And age 14 was that one day, 8th April 2016, was when my whole world collapsed. When I felt when I got a call from school saying that Mrs. Stoll, please come to school. Your daughter attempted suicide. It was really hard for me. So I had to rush down to the school. Apparently she took pills, but they couldn't find out what pills. But so they say, okay, check her into the hospital, and which I did. And there at the hospital, I was alone with her, and I think what was challenging was the doctor said, is she crazy? If she's crazy, I'll check her into a mental hospital. And I thought, what kind of doctor are you? I'm having such a hard time, and you are so insensitive to say that. But anyhow, there at the hospital, I said this prayer. I said, God, do not let my pain go to waste. So, but it was at the hospital that I also saw the kids who were victims of child abuse. Like there was this boy, he was 10 years old. He was being ironed by his dad, the hand and the leg. There was another boy who was being punched by the dad until he had to go for eye operation. Another girl, she was 12. She was being hit by an iron rod by the dad. And that really break my heart. And I thought, I mean, families were supposed to love and connect with one another. But what would cause a parent to do that? I think hurting people hurt people. They don't know what they are doing, perhaps. Sometimes it could be a pattern. It could be a cycle. Yeah. So that started my journey of wanting to reach out to families, to help families to thrive. But anyhow, so I got myself, I took 1 year to study, because I thought, what kind of parent am I? I don't want the blind to be leading the blind. So I took 1 year and I learned from the Youth Coaching Institute, and I got myself certified as a youth leadership, youth mentor coach. It was difficult because of the time difference. It was every Saturday, every Saturday, 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. for almost a year. But to me, it was important for me. I felt I was on a mission, and that was a price I was willing to pay. And then I also got myself certified as a brain health professional, because every time we talk about brain health, mental health rather, that's the social stigma. They think you're crazy yourself. But actually, I learned from Dr. Daniel Amen to be Dr. Daniel Amen, and his book that I read, Change Your Brain, Change Your Life, which makes so much sense. Like our physical health, when we take better physical health, better care of our physical health, we function better. Likewise for our brain. if we know what we can do to care for our brain, then we can all function better. So then it takes away that social stigma. It's no longer about this craziness. It's not about madness. It's about taking good care of our health, and that includes our brain health. And of course, during this entire period, I completed neuroscience of coaching. I got very interested in neuroscience, brain science, but knowing is one thing, getting certified is one thing. At the back of my head, I always had this little voice like, are you sure? Do you know what you're going to do? People are going to judge you because look at your children. Are they performing very well? So I have all these doubts. And of course, to share stories, my family, they are very private. My children, and other than my elders who has like social media accounts, thousands of followers, my husband and my two younger children, of course not the youngest one, they are all very quiet, they are all very private. So I have to expose them also in some way. I put them in the spotlight, so I do have to ask my family, as also my eldest daughter, for permission. I asked them, I said, are you okay if during my process of coaching or sharing, I have to share certain stories about us? And I'm thankful that they gave me their permission. And so for that, I'm very, very thankful for their support. So yeah, and during COVID was when I think things took off, where I really started coaching despite having delivered my little one, because the whole world kind of closed down physically, but virtually it opens up opportunities. And I started to do more coaching with young people, families as well. I started to speak, yeah, making presentations and giving parenting talks. Prior to that, I was already giving parenting talks and giving presentations, but after that, I appeared virtually on newspaper, in TV, for TV interview, radio interviews, and I also, yeah, during a COVID period, with my little one, I was also inspired, and that's when I wrote my first book. If you can see, 7 lessons is actually a mama's diary. 7 lessons from my kids. Why I wrote this book is I felt that so often we thought that we have lots to teach our children, but I realized that our children have so much more to teach us. They are actually like a mirror. So later on, you'll understand this thing about, mirror? What mirror? You'll learn about that. Yeah, so, and I'm thankful that this book has received positive reviews, and it's been very, very encouraging. And also because of my little one, who I delivered during COVID period, and that's how I also developed this deck of cards called My Feelings Are My Friends, because I realized that very often we don't know how to really express our emotions, and I'll go into that much deeper tomorrow in tomorrow's sessions about making our feelings our friends, and how this has helped me to connect with people, helped me to connect with my families. And the cards as a resource has actually helped parents in communicating and connecting, not just with their children but also with themselves. So now, are y'all all ready for today's session to start? I'm going to go into the presentation proper. So if you put into that chat ready, I'll be happy to start the session. Yeah, let me look for my slides. Okay. All right, Joanne, thank you for your message. All right, please feel free to just type in the chat anytime you have any questions. I'll try to address them. Yeah. So this this is my family. My family of four. This picture was taken during COVID period, and we were all stuck at home. Now, when people look at this picture, they're like, oh, and this picture actually was featured in the Straits Times newspaper where I was interviewed. And some, my friends, all our friends who saw the picture, they're like, wow, Delphine, what a beautiful, happy family. But they didn't realize how long it took to take this picture. The tears and the sweat and the frustration just to get this picture. It took us almost an hour because someone need to put on makeup, someone didn't want to smile, someone smiled wrongly, or so my mom tried to take a picture for us, but she being old, her hand was shaky, so the pictures she took were all blurred. So in the end, it was my husband who had to do a Wi-Fi. That's how we ended up with this picture. It's not Photoshop. We are all natural. Okay, this is all natural. Yeah. So that's my family of six. Okay. Now today, what we're gonna cover, two sides of the same coin. We're gonna look at strength and challenges. We're also gonna look at this framework that I have developed called the inside out approach. Okay. And we'll be looking at the paradox of parenting, understanding and applying neuroscience principle. Now, as I mentioned, I'm a certified brain health professional. There'll be certain neuroscience principle which I'll be applying, and I'll make it very simple because sometimes all the different terms is even difficult to pronounce. So I'll make it very simple so it's easy for you to understand and apply. Okay, and I will also be talking about this. How do you show love? And love, L-O-V-E, is an acronym. And the 5 love languages, I think some of you would have already are already familiar with. Okay. Now, what is this two sides of the same coin? No, okay. Before that is the inside out approach. Now, the way I go about it is DCBA. Now, most of us want to get to A very quickly, but I realized that for us to get to A, we have to start from within. And what is this within? It's really D, discovering. Discovering about yourself, discovering about your strength, discovering about your weaknesses, also discovering about your own parenting style, discovering the type of family culture that you have or lack of, and then from there, discover what kind of kids do you have, how do you see your children, and what do you want to see in your children, how do you want to start being that kind of parent to create that kind of childhood for your children so that they can be the kind of adult that you want them to be. And when you have that in mind, that identity in mind, then you start to build on a skill set. And the last one is to appreciate and acknowledge. Very often we are always looking at what we do not have, but it's so important to start to appreciate and acknowledge what we do have already. Okay. Now, I'd like to ask the parents here, okay, if you're not a parent, to pick someone that you're very close with, a child that you're close with. Describe the child that you have. And for some, I think most of you have more than one kids, right? More than one kid. Look, you want to look at the child that you're most concerned with. Okay, and you do this assessment. Okay, on one spectrum, like the first pair, obedient versus rebellious. Is your child a 5 on rebellious? That means the opposite of obedient. If your child is quiet, Then it could be a 5 on the quiet side. And then expressive on the extreme end. So if I can encourage you to just take about 3 minutes, yeah, let me know if you need more time to do this assessment. Okay, for those of you who just joined, welcome. I think Yasmin from US have just joined us. Welcome, Yasmin. I believe it's very early for you. Thank you. And we're just started. And if I could encourage you to just, if you like, you can take a screenshot of this slide and do this quick assessment. Hey, give me a thumbs up if you have completed. Sorry, it's Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Welcome. Beng Xuan, Hui Xian. Yeah, thank you for joining us. At any time, if you have any question, please feel free to just put in the chat. Okay. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. Okay. Are you all done with this slide? Yes? Are we good to go? Thanks, Sharon. Okay. I'll go on to the next one. Okay. Now, two sides of the same coin. What is two sides of the same coin? Now, for those of you who have put your child, like, oh, my child is obedient. That's fantastic, right? The strength of a child who's hold on, let me admit someone who's just joined us. Wait, hold on. No, okay. Now, the strength of a child who's obedient, like you term as obedient, is respectful, compliant, accommodating, agreeable, law-abiding, follow rules and orders. Yes, these are the strength, correct? Hi, Genevieve, welcome. We are now going on to two sides of the same coin. We talk about the children's, how would you describe your children? And we talk about, do you describe your child as obedient versus rebellious? Yeah. So I have to move ahead. Okay. But the challenges at its extreme. If you have a child who's very, very obedient, you might also be careful that your child do not become submissive. Do not come across as being meek. Do not become a yes person or inert. Okay, let me shift things about. Yeah. Okay, so I can see everyone. Okay. Now, two, I think a lot of parents may say, oh, my kid is very rebellious. Yes, my kid is very rebellious, defiant, unmanageable, aggressive, disrespectful, stubborn, and difficult. Oh my gosh. Yes, these are the challenges you face at its extreme. But do you know that on the other extreme end, it has its strength? It's strong with this child that you labeled or described as being rebellious tend to be more independent, innovative, resourceful, strong-willed. Do you see that? Do you see that? Because I see that in my eldest. She is defiant, she's aggressive, yeah, difficult and stubborn. But boy, she is resourceful, she's innovative, she's strong-willed, she gets what she wants. So doing this, I want the parents to start to see, sometimes we just focus on the negative part, the extreme end, but what we want is the spunk in this child. You want to draw out from this child. We want to look at how then do we turn this into a strength. Like for my second daughter, she tends to be a bit quieter, she's respectful, more agreeable, more law-abiding, she followed the rules. But inside my heart, I was also a bit concerned. Will she become like a bit of a doormat? Will she become a yes person, or will she get bullied because she doesn't want to voice out, because she's being submissive, she's being meek? Okay, moving along. Third one, quiet. Yes, when we look at a child, like, oh, this child is quiet, very thoughtful, is an observer, introspective and gentle. But it could be at the extreme end, this child is also suppressive, unreadable. You don't know what is going on. But with this other child who's rebellious, who's very expressive, you can see it all on the face. This other child could be playing poker. You don't know, and you have to try to decipher, what is she thinking? What is he thinking? Does it make sense? So far, does it resonate with you? Yeah. Okay. Expressive. Okay. If you have a child who's very expressive, at the extreme end, the challenges that you find will be noisy, loud, pushy, attention-seeking, rude, explosive, unmanageable. I just want her to be quiet. I want him to shut up, right? But do you know that the strength of someone who's really expressive is this person is very lively, very energetic. He or she could be the life of the party, life of the family. Very active, very vivacious. When my eldest is around, it's like there's a lot of drama. There's a lot of excitement. It's never quiet. It's a lot of dynamism. Now, for those parents who think that, okay, you know, my family is very dysfunctional, so much fighting, why can't we have, you know, a normal family, peace and quiet? Let me share with you. I have a friend. Let me stop share first. Okay, I have a friend who's who works at a counselor. She comes from a family, very gentle family, no fight. Everyone speak gently and softly to each other, to one another. Lovey-dovey, and no drama. But when she went to work, she entered the workplace. Oh my gosh, she got a rude shock, culture shock, and she couldn't handle people who show anger. A little bit she got, oh my gosh, because she's not used to it. Her family culture is so gentle and docile. So if you have a really vibrant, yeah, that's a nice word to use. If you have a very vibrant, dynamic kind of family environment, rejoice in it, because there are lessons for your children to learn how to manage a family with very different personalities, explosive characters, and because that will serve them well when they enter the workplace or even when they go to school, because it's no longer something that they are foreign to. So look at what we have and see, okay, there are challenges, but what can be the strength of it, and let's draw out the strength from it. That's what I've been trying to do with this two sides of the same coin. Now continuing on with the slides, yeah. Is this helpful so far? Okay, thank you. If you can put in the chat there, I know. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself. Thank you, Clara. Okay, anxious. If you have a child who's anxious, like kanchong spider, like in our local language, everything on your fret. this child could be very worried, fretful, agitated, easily worked up, paranoid, worry about this, worry about that. But you know, the strength of this person is careful. This child is careful, is watchful, plan ahead, and prepares well in advance. So what we want is to help them strike a balance. We want to affirm them like, oh, this is extreme, but how do we help you to moderate it so that it becomes a strength that you can leverage on? Yeah. So the next one, calm. Yeah, if a child who's very cool like a cucumber, very composed, relaxed, stable, measured, nothing will shake this child. Maybe even yourself, or even your husband, or your wife. But you know, extreme end, right, is someone you feel like very passionless, indifferent, apathetic, low energy. So sometimes when you talk to someone who's cool and collected, for me, I am more of the animated, high energy. So when I'm talking to my husband, sometimes I feel like he's putting out my fire, and I felt, oh, like he's not hearing what I'm saying. He's not getting it, and I get very demotivated. Anyone got that? Yeah. I see some smiles. Okay. Any one of you, the calm one here? The calm one? Who are the calm one here? Can I have show of hand? Karen, the calm one. Okay. The rest of us, we are the expressive type, yeah? The kanchong spider type. Oh, sorry for Becky and Jasmine. Kanchong spider means like the anxious little spider. That's a term that we like to use here. Okay, and then we have the sensitive child. Yeah, this child is very considerate, very observant, very intuitive, perceptive, very responsive, very empathetic. But too much of this child being so sensitive, the child gets hurt easily, like strawberry, a little bit get bruised. And we have to think, are we saying the right thing? Are we offending this child? And the child could be very touchy, and you have to be very, very careful with what you say. Not just child, sometimes it could also be adult. So you see, in every case, there's the strength and the challenges, and it's extreme. Tough. When you look at a child who's tough, yeah, harsh, hard, rigid, demanding, unforgiving, and detached. But the strength is this child is strong, determined, resilient, tenacious, and confident. So when we look at our children, and we're just looking, and when I look at this chart, right, I pick up rebellious, I pick up expressive, I pick up sensitive, I pick up tough, all at the challenges. And that's how I would describe my eldest daughter. But when I look at her strength, she's strong-willed, she's very resourceful, she's very lively, very energetic. She's the one who cracked me up, but also made me cry a lot. Yeah, a super, super resilient child. But when I look at my second and third kids, yeah, they're quiet, calm, sometimes to a point of irritating me because they're just too calm. Yeah, and cautious. When you look at a child who's cautious, yes, careful, alert, attentive, observant, and discreet. But on the extreme end is someone who could be suspicious, uneasy, uptight, and slow, and guarded, and scrupulous, like very meticulous, attentive to details. So, and then the very last one is daring. Yeah, Becky, thanks. Yeah, the daring will be impulsive, rash, reckless, foolhardy, pushy, hasty, impetuous. But the strength of this child is brave, bold, enterprising, experiential, spontaneous, gritty, gutsy, and fast. And do you know that there's a study that shows that kids who tend to be rebellious and daring, they become entrepreneurs more often than not. Yeah. So I'm just gonna pause for a while and just stop here and ask, how is this helpful to the parents here? Do you see any aha moment? Because when I did this with my 2 batches of the master classes, they found that this helped them realize, oh my goodness, I've been just looking at the negative parts, but I forgot to look at the flip side of it. How then can I start to nurture and bring out the strength of my child who display the negative traits that I see? Because we tend to focus somewhat on the negative. Yeah, so thank you, Margaret. Appreciate that. Yeah, anyone else, you have any aha moment you like to share? I'll just pause for a moment to take questions if you have any. Anyone have anything to share at this point? I agree with you entirely. I read a book, The Temperament God Gave Our Kid. It teaches us out. Yeah. So the thing is how to turn our weakness into strength. How to turn our weakness into strength. Thank you, Karen. Yeah. It helps me to see beyond the negative as well. All right. So moving on. Okay, I'll go on to the next section. Why is it important for us to start to see our children not just one side of the one side of the coin, but to look at the other side and start to appreciate our child for who they are, the whole human being, a holistic being. Okay, now the question I ask the parents at this point in time is, what kind of person do you want your child to be? If you can put into the chat, what kind of person do you want your child or children to be? If you're raising your children, what kind of person do you want your children to be? What kind of personality, not personality, what kind of traits, qualities that you would like to see in your children? If you can put in the chat. Anyone? A confident, kind? Yes, Clara, thank you. Confident, kind. Anyone else? Kind, true to himself. Yes, thank you, Linda. Confident, kind, self-assured, resilient. Yes. Any more? Kind. I see a lot of kind. Confident. Yeah. Courage. Yes. Resilient. Caring. Okay. Great. Keep the answer coming. Yeah. Okay. Happy, resilient, confident, thoughtful, kind. Yeah. So you see, parents, all of us here want our children to be confident. Most of us say confident, resilient, kind. Kind is very important, right? Now, my next question is, how would you describe yourself as a parent? How would you describe yourself as a parent? If you can put in the chat. Empathy with a good balance of positive traits. Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone for your comments, your input. Warrior. Okay, laid back. Okay. So let's say laid back. Clara say warrior. Anyone else? Naggy, anxious. Okay. What else? Stressful. Lack of confidence. Okay, caring, loving teacher. Oh, Jofi, all right. Naggy. Okay, I see a couple of naggy and stressed. Okay, anyone else? Yeah, expressive, tired. Yes, tired. Okay, now I want you to do a comparison. You just put down what kind of kids you want to raise. So for that kind of children you want to raise, what kind of parents do you need to raise to raise the kind of children that you want to raise? Okay, if you want your children to be confident, how do you parent so that your kids become confident? If you're stressful and anxious, you'll understand later on why. If we want to show confident our children to be confident, we need to mirror that ourselves. Stress, confused. Oh, but CS, I hear you. Parents can be very confused in this day and age. It's not easy being a parent nowadays. Actually, it's even worse to be a child in this day and age because they are a lot more confused. Can you imagine if as a parent we are confused and we are stressed? How will our children be? And if we want our children to be confident, do you think us being overprotective will help them to be confident? If we want our children to be resilient, do you think helping them at all times is the best form of help for them? Resilience can only come when they go through hardship. We can never raise resilient and strong, confident children when they don't have to go through trials and challenges and adversities. They have to go through that. But it also scares us as parents. Oh no, what if they get hurt? There's a lot of anxiety in us that they will get hurt. That's why we try to protect them so that they don't get hurt, right, as a parent? Mostly I feel unsure. Thank you very much, parent. I really appreciate all your comments. It's really helpful, and I hear you, and I know that you can see from here that you're not alone. Neither am I alone. For the longest time, I was anxious, I was stressful, I was worried, I was thinking, what have I done, especially at the hospital? What kind of mother am I? I mean, I work from home, not like some of the parents here who work very hard, hold a corporate job full-time outside. I asked myself, what kind of mother am I? What have I done? What have I not done? There was so much shame, so much guilt, and of course very tired to have to juggle so many things. Now it seems very apt to talk about, right? So what kind of parent do you need to be to raise the kind of person you want your child to be? It needs to be paired up appropriately. So why are we so confused or stressed as parents? Because we are facing the different paradoxes of parenting, and I'll go through the different paradox of parenting. Okay, the very first one is freedom versus control. How much freedom do you want to give? How much control do you want to give? I have examples of parents who control the kids so much. Like there was this case whereby I think this daughter, let me see how old now. She was I think 12. She was taking her state exam, primary school, PSLE here, for Becky and for Jasmine. State exam is the primary school living examination that the kids here in Singapore take at age 12, and that will help them decide which school that they will go next. Yeah, the secondary school. So there's a lot of anxiety on that. So a lot of parents are very anxious about that, and they give a lot of tuition. So there was this girl, the mom planned everything. Her every day is full of tuition. Every day is very well planned, like a well-oiled machine, from one session to the next session. And one day, I think one of the teacher was sick and couldn't come for tuition, and this girl, she didn't know what to do. She called the mom, said, "Mom, now I have free time. What do I do?" She didn't know what to do with her time because her whole life has been planned and by the mom up to age 12, that is. So we want to know how much control, and it doesn't mean that it's the same level of control for every kids, because some kids do require a bit more freedom. They push more of your boundaries. Some lesser. Some may not be ready for the freedom that some are not ready for the freedom that you want to give. So you need to also gauge and prepare them so that and it's age appropriate maturity to see how much of a freedom to give and how much control to exert. Do you have any questions so far on this? Freedom versus control. Yes, CS, we need to mirror the traits we desire to have for our child. Correct. I'll share with you later. Strange thing is with one's yeah, correct. Every child is different. So it's the same parenting style. I adopt. Well, you may have to adjust. We have to adjust our parenting style to meet our different children's needs. The same type of parenting style cannot meet all your children's needs when they are very, very different. Okay, I will answer more of that later. I'll give examples and you can see. Yeah. Okay, so and then the second pair of paradox is life lessons, teachable moments versus rewards and punishment. And used to be when they do well, we give them a trip to overseas, or something that they like, right? Or maybe something they didn't do well, we turn it into a life lessons. So which is what you have to balance up. And I think Clara previously asked me, and she said, hey, this thing about being proud, I'm proud of you, my child. Do we say I'm proud of you, my child, all the time? So my answer is, actually, it's also important for our children to be proud of themselves, not just for us to be proud of them. Why I say that? If our children value very much and what you say matters much to them, they may making you proud their top priority. And why is that not such a good thing? Because there are certain things that they may have a desire for, that they like they're working too very hard just to earn your approval, especially the firstborn child. The firstborn child usually like to get the approval of the father, especially approval of the father, and sometimes the approval of the father matters more than a mother's love. That's for the firstborn child. Okay, and so the child may want to earn your respect so much that they may do something that may not be appropriate. So there was this case whereby this child, she did well, but then she felt it was not good enough. She didn't get a straight A's, and so then in the end, she lied about her results. And when found out, why she did that. She was just too eager to make the parents proud of her. She know that the parents will only be proud of her when she gets straight A's. Instead of her looking at her abilities and say, I put in my best effort and I'm proud that I put in my best effort and this is the result I got. So it's important for us to say, yes, I'm proud of you, but what do you think? Like maybe a kid could be doing a drawing and then show you, small kids, yeah, show you, hey, mommy, daddy, I drew this. Do you like it? Do you love it? And you can say, yes, that is so nice. I'm proud of you. But what do you think? And after some time, you can, before you answer, you can actually ask, what do you think? When you look at this picture, how do you feel having drawn this? Let them hear about how they feel about the efforts that they put in to produce the work that they have. It's important for them to have that self-assuredness, to have that self-confidence, and that confidence does not just come from external, that come from the parents, but the confidence comes from inside. Because the parents, some of you mentioned that, or most of you mentioned that you want your children to be confident. So how can your children be confident if every bit of the confidence come from you, external, versus it come from them? So it's ways in which you can start to nurture them to develop self-confidence, to be proud of what they have achieved versus just relying on us and getting accolades from us. Yeah, does it make sense so far? Yeah, okay. So that's second paradox. Yeah. Now the third paradox is protectiveness and shelteredness versus resilience and maturity. So this one we talked about earlier on, how sometimes, I mean, as parents, we all like to provide well for our children. We would like to pamper our children. We like to shelter them and make sure they don't get hurt as well. But in the process of protecting them and sheltering them, we are also limiting them the opportunities to build resilience and maturity. And there are times where they have to learn to fall and take responsibilities. And these calculated, yeah, these are, so you let them learn to own up for the mistakes that they make. And they also build up their sense of responsibility and accountability as well. So when my son was in his primary school, and then he didn't want to do his homework, and his Chinese, oh my gosh, Chinese essay, anyone have to go through that? It was such a pain. Okay, for those whose kids have not attended primary school, your turn will come. I'm just holding. Yeah, you have Chinese essay, which was really a pain because they have to write the Chinese character, which is really difficult. Yeah, and so there are times I remember he would wait till the last minute, and it was always procrastinating. And there was one time he was doing it like past 12 midnight, and I said, forget it, just go to sleep. He was 7. I said 7 or 8. Yeah, I said just go to sleep, don't have to finish your homework. And then he said, huh? And I said, but my teacher was scolding me. I said, that's the price you pay for not doing your homework earlier. If you get scolded, you get punished, that's something you have to learn. And from there on, I never had to make him do his homework on a Sunday night. So if they have to receive consequence, then they have to receive the consequence so that they learn. It's better that they suffer a little bit of pain now than to suffer a lot of pain later. And from young, I think from a lot of young people that I coach, is the art of making decision is important, but they have not learned to make wise decision. A lot of decisions have been made by the parents, and sometimes their decisions are overruled, so much so they are scared to make their own decisions. So if parents here, if you whatever age your kids are in, even as young as 3-4 years old, let them make decision. Like for example, my 3-4-year-old, you give them choice, this or what. So right, yeah. So I think there was one time my 4-year-old, she wanted to eat chips, but she had a little bit of cough. So then I said no chips, and she said I want chips, I want, and she gone non-stop. So I took the chips in front of her. I said, sure, you can have chips. You can have chips now, and then later we go see doctor and have a jab. Okay, that's option number 1. Or 2, you drink, you have healthy snacks, and then you don't need to see the doctor, you don't need to go to the hospital. Make your choice. Then she, I want. I say, yeah, you want, can. I open up for her already. I say, yeah, you can have your chips. But no, you are having a little bit of cough already. You can have the chips, but I guarantee you, you will fall sick and we will see a doctor. The doctor may even give you a jab. And in worst case, you may go hospital. Or you recover. After you recover, then you can have your chips. Then which is which? And then she'll choose the second option, which is not to have chips. Then she still cried. I said, so what do you choose? She said, no chips, no chips. Then I said, so why are you still crying? Then she, oh, okay. Then she stopped crying. It was really funny. Yeah. And then after that, she remembered she wanted to argue with me about something, which is she wanted to watch her computer, but she already watched for that day. No more. We only allow her to watch on Saturday and Sunday. She already watched. So she went, I want to watch. I said, you want to watch? But you already watched. No, I want to watch. I'm like, okay, decision time. So I went, okay, you can watch today, but next Saturday, Sunday, no computer. Or you don't watch because you already watched, and then next Saturday, Sunday, you can watch. Choose. Then she, I want to watch. And then she picked next Saturday, Sunday. I said, yeah, life is full of hard choices, but you make the right choice. So you make the right decision. So she learned to delay her pleasure time. She really did. So this is for small kids. But for older kids, we let them choose which is which. Like we ask them, very often our kids, the teenagers, the young people, why they have so much to grind with us? Because they think our word is like the king's decree. They have no say and they hate it. So we give them choice, right? You want to clean up we always like, clean up your room now. No option. That makes them very frustrated. So we give them choice. So do you want to clean up your room 30 minutes later or by the end of today? You in your heart, you know it will be end by end of today, but you give them 30 minutes just to let them know that, I give you some options. So you can stretch and play with the boundaries. So there are ways in which you want to help guide them to make decision, which is really important. Very often they make decision without thinking of the consequences. That's how they get into trouble. Yeah. I hope the examples help. If you have other age group you want me to raise, I can also raise. Say to your child, you should be proud of yourself. Yeah. Yeah, you want your child to say, I'm proud of myself that I've done this. Not just I as your parent am proud, but you should be proud. Wow, look at that. And then they start to appreciate and acknowledge what they have done. Yeah. Okay, next. All right. Heart-centered versus head-centered. We need to help them to make decision based on heart and also based on head, like logic. Yeah. This one I don't think I need to give examples. Okay. Yeah, individuality versus conformity. Well, we want our children to grow up to be their unique individual, but there are times where we also want them to not stick up like a sore thumb, because you think like, why are they so different? Why are they so weird? Yeah, we want to, it's a fine balance between getting them to conform versus them expressing their individualism. Okay, welcome May for joining us from Philippines. Thank you. Okay, encouraging versus realism. Yes, it's important for us to encourage, but sometimes we also live in a real world. We also need to let them know about the reality of this world, but we also want to encourage them so that they don't become so jaded. And sorry, press the wrong button. Hold on. I'm sorry. Just give me a minute. How come? Aiyo. The paradox. Okay. My apology. Okay. Okay. Encouraging. Yeah. So these are the paradoxes of parenting. So no wonder we get confused, we get stressed, because we have to find a balance between each set of the paradox. Does it make sense for the parents here? Is it true? You face a lot of having to strike a balance on this? Yeah? Which one hits you the most, if I could ask? Which pair of paradox? Anyone? Yes, you'll always be balancing regardless of how old they are. Actually, I mean, I'm 50 plus, but look at my mother. She is still trying to shelter me, still trying to protect me. A mother is always a mother. Freedom versus control. Thanks, Celeste. Anyone else? Okay, if not, I'll just quickly move along. I'm taking note of the time here. It's already, wow, 9:15. Did take quite a while. So the most important part is really what kind of person you want your child to be versus, okay, what kind of person you want your child to be. Then you need to look at what kind of person do you need to be. Okay. That's a question I would like you all to consider even after this masterclass is finished for tonight. Yeah. Now, the next segment is this thing called mirror neurons. Now, what is this mirror neurons? Okay, mirror neurons is actually, well, how is it at play? We actually mimic the emotions and actions we see in others around us. We mimic the emotions and actions we see in others around us, whether you know this thing about mirror neurons. It's happening all the time, constantly, right? So parents, it's so crucial for you to be the home thermostat. So for this, I just like to share. So one of the very first clients I coached, this mother, she came to me and she had two kids. One, I think one was 8, another one is 10. Yeah. And then she said, "Yeah, I'm quite concerned my daughter." And this daughter, every time I ask her something, she will just tell me, "I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." And then when I volunteer in school and I'm quite concerned. I said, "What's your other concern?" When I go to school, I see her often eating alone. She doesn't have any friends, or she'll just go to the library. And I thought, really? And then so we started chatting and I find out more about her. And then I found out that this was actually her second marriage. And she told me that I realized that a woman should not come across as being too capable. You need to act as if you're not so capable. I said, "What's that so?" Because we found that her being too capable works against her. So in this marriage, she decided that she'll be that little woman, and even there are things that she know how to do when her husband when her husband asks her, she'll say, "I don't know, I don't know." And then after that, I said, okay, so how do you spend your time? Do you go out with your friends? And then she said, "No, my friends betrayed me. I don't believe in friendship. My family is all I have. I don't go out with friends." I'm like, I said, it's interesting. You mentioned that your daughter always said, "I don't know, I don't know, I don't know." And you mentioned that your daughter doesn't have friends. She's always alone. And you're telling me you're often in front of your husband, you're always telling him, "I don't know, I don't know." And you don't go out with friends. You don't believe in friendship. Do you see a pattern here? And then she went totally quiet. And then after a while, she started tearing. And it was so powerful. Now that I think back, when I was when my eldest was about close to 2 years old, I delivered my second daughter, and I was nursing my little one, my newborn baby. And one day I found my 2-year-old daughter. She had a baby doll, and then she said, "Hey baby, do you want to drink nene?" And then she flicked up her shirt and said, "Come." She's mothering, she's mimicking me. And it is not just for little kids. It's not just for little kids. Okay. That was during COVID, and my second daughter was 16 years old. So it was such a hard time for us to get out of the house, especially for me after delivered the baby. So for a few months we were stuck at home. But that one day, my husband said he will look after the baby, while my second daughter and I went out of the house to IKEA. And then when we went to IKEA, we bought some food we wanted to eat. And then at the checkout counter, then I realized, oh my gosh, I forgot my wallet. And then, but the food was already on the tray. Then I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Then what struck me was I actually looked, then I had an idea. So I saw this woman, this lady, we are all masked up, right? So I say, "Hey ma'am, can you help me? I forgot my wallet. Can you pay for my meal? But I can use my phone, pay now you. I can transfer the funds to you. Can you help me to pay?" And she said, "Yeah, sure." So we had a good meal, and then my daughter, she really wanted to buy, I think, beef balls from IKEA because she had a picnic the next day. Then she said, come, let's go home. I said, no, we haven't bought what we came for. And she said, but mom, you forgot your wallet. I said, it worked the first time, so I'm gonna try it again. We're gonna go shopping. I'm gonna find someone who help pay, and I'll pay the person. And she said, and she was quite shocked at my so-called audacity, and I found her walking further and further away, like she want to be disassociated with me. So seeing her so uncomfortable, I said, all right, okay, you just wait for me in the car. I'll just go and get it. So I went, I get it. I got into the car, and as we drove off, and I said, hey, Isabel, I sense that you were quite embarrassed of me doing that. Yeah? Were you? She said, yeah. Who does this kind of thing? I said, your mother. So then after that, I said, Annabelle, if someone like me approach you for help, would you help the person? She said, yeah, I would. I said, so you would help someone, but you would not accept help. Why? Why wouldn't you? And she paused for a moment. Then I said, it takes humility. It also takes courage to ask. I hope today I show you that it's okay to ask for help. And it's okay to accept help from other people. And she kept quiet. She didn't say anything. A few weeks later, she came home one day. She said, I managed to buy this swimming costume from World of Sports. I actually forgot my wallet. You forgot your wallet and you managed to buy the swimsuit? Then she said, yeah. I said, how? I did like what you did. I said, huh? What? Come again? What do you say? She said, yeah, I was at the counter, and then I asked this lady, I say, ma'am, I forgot my wallet. Is it okay if you help me pay and I transfer you the money? Yeah, so I did. So it doesn't just work for little kids, it works for big kids as well. So what is it that you want your children to model? And I was invited recently to do talks to Hwa Chong International and Nanyang Girls, and they asked me to do the talk called Parenting Through Exam. Oh my gosh. So I did 2 talks for them, and then I say, yeah, parents, exam time, please, can I change the title? Instead of saying Parenting Through Exam, I would like to say that exam is a period where they feel stressed and anxious. But in life, there are many moments where they feel stressed and worried and anxious. So exam is just one portion of it. And I like to change it to parenting through the different stages of your kid's life. And if you look at it as parents, if you're anxious about your kids' exam, the anxiety that you have will project onto them. They will pick it up. Have you ever seen Becky? Becky is a school teacher for little kids. She will notice that small kids, when the teacher is calm, the children are generally calmer. But if the teacher walk in flustered and very anxious, the kids become more rowdy, and there are more misbehaviors that they will observe. So parents, you do have to model the actions and the emotions that you want your children to have. You mentioned earlier on, you want your children to be confident. Model confident. Even if you make mistake, learn. I made mistake. I used to oh, silly me, stupid me, and then my kid oh, mommy, silly, mommy, stupid. So now it's it's okay. It's nothing that I cannot rectify. And we show that confidence. You'll show the children it's okay to make mistake. I can rectify it. Just like my mom. So when I was asked, I was interviewed, what's the best piece of advice I could give for my children? Like word of advice. I thought for a while and I said, I don't think I can answer that. I can only say, I hope my children be inspired by the person that I am. So we want our children to live a best life. We need to also live well. If we don't want our children to worry too much, we also have to show confidence, like come what may, it's going to be okay. That's so much more important. You want your children to be happy, we have to have joy in our life. What are the things that we do that bring us joy? Life can be hard, but sometimes there are still pockets of opportunities for us to find joy. So yeah, it's so important to mimic the emotions and the behavior that we want to see in our children. And so that's this question I like to ask. Okay, and that is, okay, is the question out? Okay, here's my question. What emotions do you want to infect your family with? What emotions? You want to infect your family with kindness, show kindness, happiness, joy. Thank you. Yeah. And yeah. And if I could share this, my son, my son then was how old? P1, P2, about 7. So I used to make all this. Is it okay if I can have your permission to overrun by maybe 15 minutes because there's so much to share? Is it okay? But if you have to go, please do go. Yeah, gratitude. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so the story I thought it would be helpful. My son was about 7 or 8 years old, and I used to make this fruit and veggie juice for him, my whole family, like the kids, every day, which he absolutely hate. And after that, I always have a hard time convincing him to drink. So except for one night, he finished very quickly because I was waiting for him. I said I will read him a story. So he finished very fast and then he quickly came to me. I said, oh, wow, David, I'm so proud of you. Finish your drink so quickly. And then we were reading a story. So I was holding the book and then my hand was on his heart. And then I said, wow, Davian, I'm just so proud of you. Why you finish your drink so fast? Guess what? His heartbeat suddenly speed up. They're like, something not right. Which me and I said, Davian, did you really finish the drink? And then he went, so he started heaving up and down, like panicking really. And then I say, okay, I guess you didn't drink the drink. What did you do with the drink? And he, I pour away the drink. I'm like, wow, the fires. So I thought, oh my gosh, how should I handle this? But then I look at him. He was a tiny child. I mean, he's quite petite. Then I look at him and I saw how he was guilt driven, and I didn't have the heart to scold him. So I said, Davian, I don't have the heart to scold you. No, it didn't come out that way. I said, Davian, it's wrong to pour away the drink. I made it so that it's good for your health. I was actually quite upset. but I'm not gonna punish you, because I think you punish yourself enough. This thing that you're feeling, that is guilt. You know, when you do something wrong, this feeling will come up. And I hope you remember. Does it feel good? And I said, yeah. And I hope you remember that whenever you do wrong things, this will come up. And this is a warning to tell you not to do that again. So instead of punishing him, I believe I showed him kindness. I believe I showed him benevolence, which is, I feel it more important than punishing him. And he learned to be kind to other people. So that when other people make mistakes, it's not like I'm gonna punish you. It's a punitive kind of punishment, but rather I'm gonna be kind. So that you remember, oh, hello, Sharon, little daughter, so cute. Yeah, and we want to show kindness. Our kids to show kindness, we must show kindness. And that shows from our kindness to our children, even kindness between spouse, kindness to other people, like how we show kindness to like the road sweepers, or to the low and lonely. Because I was very proud of my children, and one day we were going off. Oh, Becky, thank you. Thank you for joining us. See you. So yeah, so I was very proud that my kids, when saw this old man, he didn't have anything, and they went back and they gave whatever pocket money they had to help this old uncle to buy food. So we really have to model whatever we want our children to display. Okay, what emotions do you want to infect your family with? And the other question is, right now, which you can answer, is what emotions do your children mirror back to you? What emotions do your children mirror back to you? That's very, very, very important. Very important. Because our children are like our mirror. See, as you mentioned earlier on, right? Do we have to model? Oh, Linda, thanks. Sorry, we are overrun. We'll go through, do a recap tomorrow before we start. Hope to see you tomorrow, same time. Yeah. Okay. And this is why it's important for us to look at discovering ourselves. Discovering ourselves. Remember the model? DCBA. Discovering, creating, building, appreciating, and acknowledging. And today's session, we really look at discovering about how our emotions, how our actions could have impacted our children. Showing love. Let me see, what time is it now? Okay, just about another 10 minutes. Is it okay? Yeah? Okay, how do we show love for our children? L, listen. Listen. And I learned this lesson from my eldest daughter. Listen to respond versus listen to understand. She was about, my eldest, she was about maybe 11 or 12 years old, and we were always having argument. And I remember one time, while she was talking, I was busy formulating my answer, and I thought, okay, how am I gonna answer her back once she stopped? And then she said, Mom, you listen to respond, you didn't listen to understand. And at that moment, it hit me hard, because then I realized while she was talking, I wasn't present to her. Because to me, I was like, oh my gosh, she's complaining again. I cannot believe it. I cannot take it. I wasn't totally present to her. So we have to listen to understand and be totally present to what they are saying, their body language, not looking at our phone, but totally focus on them. Okay, listen to respond. Now, what is O? Observe. How do we observe? Okay, what you see, what you hear, what you touch. No judgment. Like, why is your room so messy? Why is your room messy? That itself is a judgment. But you can describe, I see your clothes on the floor. That is a fact. She cannot argue, or they cannot argue. I hear the door slam. Yeah, that is a fact. No, why are you so noisy? That is a judgment. We don't like to be judged, right? So the minute we hear some judgment coming upon us, especially the judgment the bad judgment, we will already put ourselves at a defense. So what you see, what you hear, what you touch, observing versus judging or evaluating. If you can see it, you can hear it, describe it as it is. Okay, voice back. And as they say, you want to paraphrase and say it back to them so that they know that you get it, that you hear what they say. And it could be the same thing. But just the fact that you repeating back to them, it helps them to know that you hear them. Repeat what you heard. Like, what I heard is that you feel this when. So describe what was seen and what was heard. So E, embrace. Remember, it's always connection before correction. Connection before correction. But very often we zoom in straight into correction without connecting. And this is one quote that really speaks to my heart, which is, please love me more when I least deserve it, because that's when I need it most. Please love me more when I least deserve it, because that's when I need it most. Sometimes when they make a mistake, they really can feel it, like my son. We gotta show more love. Maybe they don't deserve it, but we still love them. It's really connection before correction. So I think with that, I will end tonight's session. I'll just do a quick recap what we've gone through, and then we'll start tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and I'll do a quick recap as well. Tomorrow I'll go through the 5 love languages, yeah, because I also recognize it's late, yeah. So today what we covered is 2 sides of the same coin, right? Remember, where we talk about the strength, but we talk about the challenges at its extreme, but we also talk about the strength. That what we have seen so far are the challenges, perhaps, but start to look at the strength and see how we can turn the weaknesses into strength. And second, we look at the paradox of parenting. And then we also cover showing love. We also talk about mirror neurons, which I forgot to mention here. And the question that I asked for you to consider, right? I asked a few questions, but the important one is what kind of person you want your child to be. And for your child to be that kind of person, then what kind of parent do you need to be? And what kind of, who do you need to be so that your children can model after you? So that's what we covered today. Tomorrow, I will go through the 5 love languages. And hold on. Tomorrow, what will we cover? Hold on. Okay. Okay. So moving forward, think about from today's session, what's the one thing you would do differently? If you can put in the chat, what is the one thing you would do differently moving forward? Yeah. And the next question, so do take action. Take action. Remember the 3 rules. Number 1, participate. Number 2, go all in. Number 3 is to take action. And for those of you, if you have not filled the pre-course questionnaire, I encourage you to do that. Plus, you get to get a free EQ assessment and guide. Okay, so this is the QR code. If you want to quickly take a QR code for this one. And then, yeah, this is the e-guide that you can keep. And then do join us in the Telegram group, right? This is the QR code for the Telegram group. And some of you have joined already. Yeah. And yeah, so what will we cover tomorrow? We will cover like the 5 love languages. Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and tomorrow we cover dealing with intense emotions, handling disagreements, managing conflicts, setting healthy boundaries, giving autonomy and choices. I think tomorrow is going to be very, very interesting. One of my favorite topics as well. Yeah, so let me see, stop share. Okay, so thank you very much, parents. Let me know what is it that you find it's very helpful for today's session. Okay, CS states observation. CS, I hope I answered your question about the mirror neurons. If you want more examples, I can give you more examples. Okay, how to guide children in decision making. Okay, thank you, Genevieve. I need to be kind. A person, I want my child to be, yes. Thank you, Sharon. Then no same sides of a coin. Yes. Thank you, Margaret. Thank you very much, everyone. You've been fantastic. Maybe if before you go, can I just let me see. Can I just have everyone turn on camera? We take a picture. Can thank you. Good night. Okay, yeah. Is it okay if we have the parents to turn on the camera? We take a picture because I always forget. Hello, Hui Xian. Thank you, Beng Xuan. Thank you, everyone, for turning on the camera. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Genevieve. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Jasmine. Okay. Quick. Where's my ticket? Okay, a lot of people starting to exit. I better take now. Okay. Wait, where's my... Okay, all ready? Okay, one more time. Wait, hold on. One more time. Okay. Okay, thank you, everyone. So tomorrow same time, 8 o'clock. I hope you have a good night's rest. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you, Delphine.
Thank you, Clara. Thank you.
Thanks, Elfie. Good night.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. Bye. Good
Bye.
night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Joanne.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, Amos.